Hello, this is Mooney, Great Blue, whatever you want to call me. Maybe even Idiot if you prefer that. But I just wanted to show two things. A massive bug that I landed myself with, and I have a friend coming over to help me fix it in regards to this game lobby. This is on VRCHAT, of course, but this is one of my favorite games, Crystal Defenders. It's very easy to find when you search for it. So this is my strategy here. Obviously, I had to sell some towers before I got into New Game Plus, because I'm on wave 38 plus, but it's actually been way more than 38 waves. But I had to stop due to a bug. I'll explain that later. But this is my strategy. At first, you like place a bunch of like spike traps below the stairways and everything, like this, and it prevents most of the enemies. These sword upgraded, the sword element upgraded traps do a lot of damage and attack way faster. So they pick out all the huge cubes on the sides. I have a double upgraded fire tower and a double upgraded snow tower. The double upgraded snow towers do a lot more damage, and they can shoot all around this turning section. They can shoot from here to all the way up here and up here. So they slowed them down multiple times a lot. So this is a really good spot for a snow tower. The reason I only have one fire trap here is because these areas are a lot more open, but enemies turn up these stairs. They take a moment to turn. So if an enemy behind an enemy hits this tower, it'll hit them too while they're going up the stairs. So that's like the only use for these fire traps. Then I have a spare upgraded sword trap up here to pick off the final enemies that are about to hit the crystal. These fire towers, they're double upgraded. They could hit all the way over here, to here, to here, up here, like all in the bottom area, but they can also hit up here, especially if you place them right. If there's like huge cubes, these fire traps are really good in a really good spot. And these electric towers, these traps like hanging off the ledge, are really good for the side flying enemies. I'll open my map here in the top left corner so it could be examined for some nerds who want to go that far and observing like all the placements. But it's almost completely symmetrical, at least to the best of my ability. Now the front defense. You usually start with the front on the first get-go, but this was not a fire tower. I changed this on wave 14 plus when I needed more damage. But the first tower you really want to go for are these electric towers. I placed two of these on these paths in the early game to get me going to go ahead and damage enemies, and then I sold them eventually and moved them up here when I needed to kill certain bosses. This setup, these lightning traps, like the ones on the sides, they take care of all the flying enemies and at the same time damage the boss. But for the extra damage, I went for these. Now, this defense isn't perfect. You will get hit. It's not like a perfect defense. There's probably better recorded ways to optimally do it, but this was my strategy. Obviously, I wish you could place more of these, but if you place a second one, they can't be used anymore, but they can be sold infinitely for the infinite money glitch. If you have two of these snow towers, one of them will just disappear, and you could sell the first one a billion times. But I didn't want to do that. This is like purely bugless in the cheating regard. But overall, all these lightning towers and everything, they defend from the flying enemies and the huge crowds of enemies down here, along with the assistance of the fireball traps when they're done taking out the sides. Now, after you got all that packed in your head and all the strategies, as well as the early game lightning towers up front, which can also hit the money bag for you, you're gonna like want to really piece together how this worked in the first place and why it's broken now. So I think the game, there's just been so much bullets I got so far, because again, wave 38, that's way more than 38 waves. I just beat the first 50 and then I got reset back to like wave 12, I think. But for PC users, because I've spent such a long time on here, Now I can't even grab any of the spells. Now I gotta explain the bug. I'm having a friend come eventually join me to help fix this, so to see if I can go further and test some things. But I can't pick up any items. I couldn't pick up enemies when I had a yeetlet equipped, so I pressed caps to drop a yeetlet and try to pick it up again to fix it. But I can't even pick up the yeetlets. I even bought additional ones. I can't pick up any upgrades, any of the stuff. The only thing I can interact with is this. I can't interact with the sling bag. I can't interact with the healing. I can't interact with anything. I can't use my yeetlets to get that juicy AoE to save the crystal from those final enemies, so I was not brave enough to start another wave without my friend coming over to help me fix this and let me rejoin while they're here, so I don't just lose the progress by restarting the world solo. So when they get back, I'll probably rejoin the world when I have them help me out. When I have a player in this world while I'm doing that, so it doesn't reset. But I did all of this in solo with no friends currently. This is something you could do solo. This is like a strategy that could pick off most of the annoying enemies with the tower placements and everything. And most people forget that they can even place the traps on areas that aren't paths because they don't think about the lightning trap. The lightning trap can hit an infinite like y-axis range. They can hit flying enemies no matter how high up they are. You can even place a lightning trap on these paths here, as long as it's lined up with the holes of the enemy that's coming up here. You could hit the flying enemies that way. But you preferably want 2 lightning traps together, because that takes care of most of the enemies. Kind of like I have these 2 in the center, and these on the edges to take care of the bees and the layer waves, but these 2 in the center just insta-kill all the purple ones. Like the bats. That's about it for the video. Nothing like too advanced. It's just another nerd video of a very cool game I like on VRCHAT specifically. This is Crystal Defenders on VRCHAT, one of my favorite VRCHAT games. And I hope anyone who watches this tries out the game, and also tries out some of the towers they just saw. But I might record an actual gameplay video soon, because all I wanted to show was the bug and my tower placement for other users, but also for me to remember to try again on a future playthrough.